Into Arsenal report. And Arsenal, although we started with a tough schedule, already away to Old Trafford, already away to Anfield, it doesn't let up quite yet, which could be good. It could be bad. We could start a very tough start to the season, it could kill our confidence and make it an uphill battle the rest of the year. Or we could handle the fixtures we have now. We could do quite well. And then we have a little bit of a lighter schedule during the toughest part of the year when we have the most competitions, probably the most injuries piling up, although we already have quite a few injuries piling up now. But a lot to say nonetheless, just to see what's coming up in September alone. We're going to come back from the international break. Within the span of 8 days, we have Forest at home, away to Athletic Bilbao in the Champions League, and then Man City at home. So obviously away to Bilbao is not the end of the world. That's a tough place to go and play, but that's one you'd expect us to handle. Forest are not in great form. I will say that. Forest have had a very tough start to the season. It looks like Nuno, after the amazing year he had last year, may already be getting sacked. They did beat Brentford on the opening day, but drew with Crystal Palace and then got crushed by West Ham at home, which is kind of shocking. So you'd expect us to handle Forest at home and Athletic Bilbao away. But then City at home, Port Val in the League Cup third round in the middle of the week. I'd expect that to be mostly academy players. Dowman should get his first start. You'd imagine Ethan and Miles will play. You'd imagine Hincapié, that may be his debut, although you may see Hincapié in the league, in the Champions League as well, but it may be his English debut against Port Val. So that should be an easier one. But then away to Newcastle to end the month. So the Premier League games, it's another one where it's like, you don't know if we're going to walk away with a clean sweep there. You'd hope to get 3 against Nottingham Forest. You'd hope to get 3 at home against City, but that could easily be 1. Anytime you play City, it's tough, although we destroyed them at home last year, and they definitely don't look to be up to speed quite yet. But, you'd expect Pep to have turned it around by September 21st. And, of course, we're obviously missing some players, as I mentioned, and then Newcastle away. So you could be walking out of this month with 5 Premier League points. I think you'll probably walk away with 7. If you walk away with 7, you're happy. That means you've beaten at least one of City and Newcastle, and you've beaten Forest, and you haven't lost. But again, 2 non-wins in the first 6 matches is not ideal if you're title challengers, considering we didn't beat Liverpool. So it's definitely a lot to kind of take in there. It then does let up, though. I will say, in the Premier League after that, you will have West Ham at home, away to Fulham, Crystal Palace at home, and away to Burnley are our next 4. Then Sunderland away. So it does let up after that. You'd expect Arsenal to go on a bit of a run after the month of September. But it's definitely a tough start to the year. I'm getting nervous that the fans are going to turn against the club just to the way that they responded to this Liverpool match, where it's like, would they have even been happy if we drew away to Anfield? I think the expectations have gotten a little too far. And, of course, as I mentioned, the injuries. And we're wondering, when will we see Bukayo Saka back out on the pitch? Now, I think Arsenal are going to be very careful here. I don't expect to see him on the bench or anything for the Nottingham Forest match. I'd say he may travel to Bilbao for the Champions League midweek match on September 16th. Maybe if he's up to it, he can get 20, 30 minutes off the bench. If he does not get minutes off the bench there, I can't imagine he starts at home to City. So that'll be a big sign on whether Saka should be back by then. From what I've heard, is that Saka should be fit to start against Man City. So let's hope that continues to be the case. But they're going to be careful. It's another hamstring injury. You have to start to worry about the minutes that Bukayo Saka has played already in his career and what the injuries are doing to him. It's a very concerning thing from a fan standpoint for sure. Then we have the worry of Kai Havertz. Many of you know that Kai Havertz ended up having arthroscopic knee surgery. That's going to be, they say, a single-digit amount of weeks. So, he had that surgery on, let's say, August 14th. I'm sorry. He had that surgery on August 20th or August 19th. So that would put him back in the range of mid-October at best. So maybe we get him back home to Crystal Palace on October 26th. That probably seems right about this time that we might see him. Maybe you see him midweek at home to Atletico Madrid. But it's a long time without Kai Havertz, and Gyökeres is going to have to really get up to speed before that. I mean, the matches in October and November are great for Gyökeres. We saw him against Leeds. Against the non-best Premier League competition, I think Gyökeres is going to be spectacular. He's going to score tons of goals, exactly the kind of player we need. Against a Fulham, a type of team that we have been unable to score goals against, love Gyökeres. But when we're going up against the likes of City and Newcastle, and Tottenham even, I'd really like to have Kai Havertz back. So we'll see what happens there with his arthroscopic knee surgery. There isn't long-term concern about this injury. It was just some loose ligaments, so we're just waiting now on getting him back and fully fit, which for what could be his final year as an Arsenal player does look like he may be one of those sales I spoke about that are a bit shocking next year. But make sure to keep watching Arsenal Report, subscribe so you can hear more about that story as it comes out. And then finally, the predictions for this year for Arsenal. It's crucial that we win a trophy this year. I don't think the fans will stand by Arteta if we don't. I think the club will. I don't think Arteta's in any risk of his job. I will stand by him, assuming we're not going to be coming in sixth and knocked out of the group stages of the league stages of the Champions League, which is not going to happen. I think we're going to win the Champions League this year. That's my guess. I don't think we'll win the Premier League. I just think we haven't been, quote-unquote, lucky enough in a league format yet, and I don't know why that would change for us. I would be happy with either. I don't have a preference. It's so crucial we win one of these two competitions. The Champions League, to me, is one where we were so close last year, if not for a couple unbelievable saves by Donnarumma, who now is basically a goalkeeper without a club. Crazy turn of events. We win the Champions League, in my opinion. We would have beat Inter. We had PSG where we wanted them. They scored a couple of absurd goals. I feel that this year we'll win the Champions League. We had such an easy league stage. I mean, I can't explain to you enough how happy I am with the league stages. The furthest we have to travel is Slavia Prague. We have Bilbao away. That's really not too bad. Olympiacos at home. That should be a cakewalk. Atletico Madrid, probably our toughest match, other than Bayern Munich at home, though. Atletico just haven't been themselves this year so far. And we're getting them early enough in the year that hopefully they haven't turned it around. Away to Slavia Praha, as I mentioned, the furthest we travel, Prague, which is only like a 3.5-hour flight, 4-hour flight from London. Bayern at home, that'll be tough, obviously, but away to Club Brugge should be handleable. Away to Inter isn't the end of the world. And then home against the Kazakhstani team. So at the very least, you're going to win at home against the Kazakhstani team. You'd expect to get at least a point away to Inter. That's 4 points. You expect to beat Club Brugge. That's 7 points. You'd expect to at least get a point at home against Bayern. That's 8 points. Slavia Praha, that would be 11. Atletico Madrid at home, you'd expect to win. That's 14. Olympiacos at home, that's 17. And then Athletic Club away, that's 20 points. 20 points in the league stage of the Champions League will almost definitely get you a bye. That's almost an absolute guarantee. Last year, 21 points won the league phase table. 20 points would have won it. We had 19 last year, and we had a much tougher draw. We had 1 draw and 1 loss and 6 wins. I'd expect us to match that. Maybe we can do even better. Maybe I did my math wrong, because I think I had said we were going to have, maybe I thought we'd have a couple more draws. I think I said we'd have 3 draws and no losses. So, listen, we'll probably lose somewhere along the lines there. Maybe away to Inter, maybe home to Bayern or Atletico, but I'd expect us to do quite well in the Champions League phase table. And then we saw what a difference that can make in terms of the seeding and the way that that's going to change this year. You're going to be able to be the home team in the second leg if you're the higher seed, which we weren't last year, which made absolutely no sense. But Inter Milan were the 4th seed, the same amount of points as we had. They made the finals. PSG actually were not one of the top 8 teams, but to not have the extra matches is massive. And listen, do I think we could win the League Cup or the FA Cup? Definitely. It's hard to say because those draws are so random. Like, we could get Liverpool in the 5th round in the FA Cup. Then it's a little bit different. Like, I don't think we're going to prioritize that match. So it's a lot to say on those two. But again, I don't know if we walk away even with both the League Cup and the FA Cup if fans are happy. These fans are dying for a major, major trophy, and it's time for us to deliver. So that's my prediction. We win the Champions League. That's Arsenal Report. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe for these daily videos on everything Arsenal throughout the season. And we'll talk to you tomorrow.